So your work focuses on individuals embracing their authenticity
Yep.
and living unapologetically. I really love
Absolutely.
that. What are some common challenges people face when it comes to embracing their true selves, and how do you guide them through this process?
Well, the biggest thing of embracing your true self is you got to get the noise out of your head from everybody else. You
Yeah.
got to quit living by everybody else's expectations. And whether it's coming out of the closet about your sexuality or saying, hey, I want to start a podcast, but people are going to think I'm crazy, or I'm going to leave my job because I want to go do something that has more meaning, there's always
Hmm.
going to be somebody that's throwing shade at you. It's just going
Yes.
to happen, right?
Yes.
So the first step, and I've done this thousands of times as a coach at this point, is you got to let go of everybody else's expectations and you got
Mm.
to start living by your own. Now, your own expectations are going to have some shade and gray around them too, because you've been embedded. Our DNA as a human has been embedded by what everybody else expects. So the first thing I usually work with them on is like, let's start building what you expect. What are your values? What are your beliefs? What's important to you?
Right.
And of course, then the next thing that usually goes, well, that sounds really selfish. No. There is no thing as selfish. It's self-care. It's self-care. I know
Yeah.
some people listening have probably heard that, but that's a really, really common thread right there.
Okay. And I love living unapologetically. So that's what you're talking about when you're saying self-care. Like you
Yes.
can't focus on. I talk to my friends and people close to me all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I started this podcast, and they say, well, "What do people say?" I don't care what they say. Like that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter to me, because I can't live my existence for other people. I have to live my existence for me.
Right.
So, uh, like I dig that being unapologetic, and but it's also tough for people to reconcile with that because it is selfish, but
Mm-hmm.
it's self care, and sometimes you have to be selfish to take care of yourself.
Yes, but there's a difference, at least from my perspective. There's a difference of being unapologetic and telling everybody to go screw. I mean, that's a
Mm.
total different unapologetic way of being in the world.
Right.
Then there's I'm going to be unapologetically who I am, and I'm going to invite you into my world to play with me in my world in this way. And if that doesn't work for you, that's okay. Then that just means we're not meant to like work together. We're not meant to be in this space together.
Right.
When I work with individuals, guys coming out of the closet, one of the groups I absolutely won't work with is a guy who does show up like, okay, this is all about me. I've given her the house. She's got the car. She's got the kids she wanted. She has the vacation homes, all this sort of stuff. It's my time. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It is, quote, your time. But
Mm-hmm.
my line is I help men in midlife come out of the closet with dignity and respect for themselves and others. And if the dignity and respect isn't in there, and I know because I stumbled over this, man, I
Yeah.
stumbled over it many, many times going through this journey. I realized every time I approached it from a place of dignity and respect, it was a whole lot smoother. Every
Yeah.
time I was flying the bird at somebody like, screw you, you go and just accept me the way, we got nowhere.
Right.
So being unapologetic in my mind is being unapologetic in your pursuit of what you want for you, provided it doesn't physically or emotionally, and this is the emotion one is kind of funky, physically or emotionally hurt somebody else. There's
Mm.
nothing I'm going to do as a gay man that actually can physically hurt or emotionally hurt you. Just because I'm gay shouldn't affect your emotions. If you got
Shouldn't. Right.
emotions around that, that's kind of on
That's your
you.
problem. Yeah. Yeah.
So I always operate in that space because I think it's important to realize I don't want to be a SOB. I
Right.
want to say, here I am. I want you to be who you are. And if I can't be with you being who you are, then we're probably not meant to be in any kind of relationship together. I'm going to still
Right.
respect that that's who you want to be. But
Right.
there's going to, we could go into a whole realm of stuff that we don't need to on this podcast with the way of the world these days. But, I think that's part of what is polarizing us as a planet right now is it's either you're this way and this is the way you're meant to be. Otherwise you're not worthy. And that's part of the messaging that we in the LGBTQ community get all the time. You're not worthy.
Hmm. Yeah. No, that is unfortunately. the way of the world. People that listen to my podcast absolutely know where I stand on all of that stuff.
Well, I
So
mean, let's just call it what it is. You are a man of color, so you
mhm.
totally get so much of what I'm saying right now. You are
Yes, I
told,
do.
you're told this is the way you're supposed to fit and where you're supposed to be, and it's frustrating. And so I love it when I get the opportunity to be in a space like this with someone just like you, where
Hmm.
we're both in the marginalized space.
Yes.
Difference is I can go walk down the street, and other than I'm a kind of a big guy, the only thing
Hmm.
anybody's going to ever figure out is he's a bald big guy. And so I might be
Right.
kind of a stocky fat guy, so that might be the thing they pick up on. Nobody
Mhm.
knows I'm gay unless I tell them. So that
Right.
little thing doesn't even show up. You cannot do that because you're a man of color. And that to me
Right.
is where the BS starts to show up.
If you like that clip, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to catch up on all of our latest content. Don't forget to hit the notification button when you do subscribe so you can get updated every time we release content. We release content every day, whether it's an actual show or clips from the shows. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Also, don't forget our Patreon page where you can find our Talking Straight Ish and After Hours Uncensored episodes. That's patreon.com/unsolicited perspectives. But once again, thank you again for listening to Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, and I'm going to catch you next time. I'll holla.